Alrighty. I acquired through Squadrons a bunch of these Squadron battle manuals with the intent to use them on Blue Mage. They last for 2 hours. They give an experience bonus of 15%. I currently have 5 jobs that are level 100, so they're all higher, so the Blue Mage gets the bonus from that. I was 72, and I firmly believe that if I was still 70, I would still have got from 70 to 80 in less than the 2 hours of this duration. The strategy is super awesome. Once you have Missile, and in my opinion, Chocobo Meteor, and you're fighting one-on-one against enemies from in Norvrent. It's like Crystarium zones. 70 is Amarang East or Kalusia South. 71 is Lakeland. 72 and 73 are Ilmeg. 74 and 75 are Raktika Greatwood. 76 and 77 are Amarang West. 78 is Kalusia North. And then 79 is the Tempest. Less than 2 hours to go from 72 to 80. And all I did was missile spam until 2 missiles hit. So I reduced them to 50, then reduced them to 25. I mean, my Chocobo was hitting. I put my Chocobo in attack mode and never needed healing from the Chocobo. The Chocobo never needed healing. It was awesome. So yeah, I was only going to get to 75 to start kind of trying to learn spells that were like level 70 dungeons, but like I would be over leveled for it, so it wouldn't be that bad. But just decided to keep going with the buff because I had plenty of time left on it. So anyway, we hit 80. That appears to be the cap so far, and maybe I don't think there's going to be a quest to unlock more, but we'll see. We'll find out. Pionde has the quest level 73, the Beard, the Myth, the Legend. We're in Ul'dah between the Miners Guild and the Weavers Guild. Here we go. You have the look of a woman who's mastered new techniques. I take it you followed Martyn's advice? As much as I would love for you to regale me with tales of your training, we recently received word from Martyn requesting your presence. He asked that you meet him at Mialvan's Gate in Limsa. I think he may have finally found our fighter. I actually totally forgot what the quest line of this is, but alright. I'm just gonna pay to teleport. It's one of my favorite destinations, so it's only 159, and that is not including. Oh, it is including reduced teleportation rate, so it's reduced in 2 different ways. And then he is okay. Arcanist Guild. The Arcanist Guild. Did she say that in the quest? Did she say Arcanist Guild? She might have. I wasn't paying attention. I was reading it out loud and barely recognizing the words I was saying. Is he down below? Way down below. If you have never played Arcanist, you would be probably kind of confused, but like I have, so I know that there's this underground little like battle area to test your spells and such. Here's Martyn talking to an earnest Arcanist. Martyn is just kind of regular garbed. He's not in his blue regalia. Speaking of blue regalia, I equipped my level 80 gear. Do not like this headpiece, so I have made it into the Mask of Azuro. And then I was messing around with other things, and the Magus's jacket was all I needed, and I kind of like the rest of the fit of the level 80 gear. That's good for Red Mage, Black Mage, Picto, Blue, Summoner. I like the rest of the fit. So yeah, anyway, that's what we're going to be working with for a while. I'm level 80 now, so we'll see how many of these quests I do tonight. Maybe all of them, we'll see. I don't know. Here's Martyn. Cutscene, by the way. You've got to empty your mind, lad. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Lad? I thought that was a gal. Whoops, my bad. Oh, mercy, I wasn't expecting you to arrive so soon. I couldn't help but stop by the old training grounds, you see, and a former classmate of mine insisted on receiving some specialized instruction. Martyn's advice has always been nothing short of inspirational. You'd be hard-pressed to find one more adept at the arcane arts here at the guild. He's got kind of like poofy blonde hair. Human. But his genius doesn't stop there. That he might better comprehend the nature of magics in all corners of the world, he has mastered near every school of magic there is. I looked at him. My options are, you never told me you'd mastered other schools of magic. Or, but I thought you were devoted wholly to blue magic. You never told me you'd mastered other schools of magic? Mastering all those magics was the only way the wisdom of the Wallachie could be fully realized in blue magic. Even so, if I'm to be a true master of the blue, I can't fall back on all them other spells I've learned now, can I? That'll do for today. If you stay the course and take my teachings to heart, I'm sure you'll do just fine. And the student nods. Thank you, Martyn. Thank you. I haven't much money, but here, a small token of my appreciation. Hands over something. Martyn takes it. I shrug. Like, what gives, yo? Right then, about your nemesis. After weighing our options here in Limsa, I reckon a member of the executioners could be just what you're looking for. It remains to be seen if they'll be willing to speak with us about their skill at arms, let alone agree to taking you on as a rival at the Celestium. But we won't know for certain unless we try, eh? Come on, let's head over to the Astalicia. I have no idea what that is. Is that where the Marauders are in Limsa? It's not. It's like near the Fisherman's Guild. Okay. Well, I was gonna say I'm too lazy. Can't go? Is this? Oh, that's not the door. I'm too lazy to run out of here and find an Ethernet shard, so I'm just gonna teleport to the. I could have, and it would probably have been a faster and better idea, especially because it's favored. It would have been very cheap, but. What are you whining about? You have Alan here? You have me here? I don't know what to do for you, dog. Is it thundery? I didn't think it was thundery. Lightning and the thunder. Along some stilts? Is that what they're called? So like this pathway, kind of like a dock, I suppose, of sorts. So like wooden stilts go down into the water, like wooden 2x4s, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, 4x4s, whatever. Anyway, it's a pathway of wood over the water with that leads to some boats. So it kind of is a dock, some dock pathways. Seeing as this is your nemesis, why not take the lead and getting to know them? I'll be right behind you, promise. And if you hear anything that sounds like knees clacking, don't worry. It's simply my excitement at becoming showmaster. Yes, that's it. My excitement. Okay. Oh, we're escorting Martyn. This is just a speaking square. It's like it's not pertinent to the quest, but it's in a little bonus, and I like to do the bonuses. It's an escort thingy. You can find them offloading cargo at all hours of the day, and where there's cargo, there's sure to be payments exchanging hands, which means... He thinks on it, or looks around, picks something up from the ground. Aha! He puts in his pocket. Another gill for the old coin purse. He cheers himself. Okay. Here. Okay. A bloody executioner deckhand. Roganin. What's that? Our sharpest axe, you say? That'll be Hillfair. Hyll Frank YR. Though it ain't every day we get strangers asking to be hacked to bits. I don't mean to offend, but he's getting on in years, and if the rumors are true, he has a bad lung besides. I think it best we look elsewhere. Oh, that's it. I can't. Okay. That's it. I can't. Okay, it can't go. I gotta go up. I gotta go up to go over. Not that way. This reminds me of World of Warcraft. You have to like find your way around some boats for dungeons, no less. We're back. We're at the top of the boat. We were in the bowels of it, and a bloody executioner who is human. Male, female. A strong arm to grapple with, and what's to say I ain't good enough, Bah, fine. If it be the cream you're after, then ye should go and speak with Captain Sicard. No sharper shot in all Lenosia. Sorry. Captain Sicard, by no means a terrible prospect, but seeing as he's the acting captains of the executioners, he's like to demand a considerable price, and more importantly, he'd cut into my profits. Maybe trying to recruit from the executioners wasn't such a great idea after all, but we can't just leave empty-handed. Well, it's clear we're not getting anywhere talking with a lowly rank and file. What we need is someone with a little more authority to help us cast a wider net. Wider. It sounded in my mind like I said whiter, but I said wider. Anyway, here's Hastwab. H-A Sam Tom H-W-A Bravo. Hastwab. Rogadin. Yeah. Cutscene. Male. You need a dueling partner for putting on some show. The bloody executioners ain't interested in dancing for coin, lass. You'll have to search elsewhere. Of course. Far be it from us to overstay our welcome. Though, if you know of any pirates who might be willing to take up our offer, not those of the executioners, of course, we'd be much obliged for aught you can tell us. He thinks on it. Snaps up. Come to think of it, there's been talk of late about some bloke, what claims to be the right hand of Mistbeard, himself come to town. They say he spends most of his time at the Drowning Wench. Wears a red mask and calls himself Octobeard, if you can believe it. Octobeard, eh? Anyone who keeps company with Mistbeard is sure to make a worthy opponent. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Well then, shall we pay a visit to the Drowning Wench? Sure. When my black mage hits level 80, which is still a ways off because I think it's only level 71 right now. Yeah. Obviously the blue gear that I have used as climbers will not stick, but that's fine. Cross that bridge when we come to it. We will teleport this time back to the main Aetheryte for 35 gil. Amazing. And we'll go to Aft Castle via the Aetheryte. And I think that since getting Missile, I think that levels 72 to 80 on Blue Mage are the only levels I have, well, after getting Etheric Mimicry, they are the only levels I have done solo without being in Healer Mimicry. I did DPS, and boy was it fun and quick and awesome. Missile is a godsend. You could also try doing Tail Whip or Doom, but their hit rate is so much lower, and Doom has that timer. And Tail Whip, I think I've gone 10 in a row casts without it hitting, and Missile generally hits roughly often enough that most kills were a lot were missile and then Chocobo Meteor to kill it, or missile with two of them hitting, you know, the first and third, or the second and the third, and then Meteor to kill it. Some did take several casts, but it was few and far between when that was a problem. So missile spam until at least 2 hit. Actually, sorry, until just 2 hit, because at that point you're not really dropping a lot of hit points if you're cutting it in half. And never even came close to running out of it, mana or health. You know, I did try to do the Cleonid and Leech trick in the Tempest, did not understanding that the Cleonid, after consuming like 1 or 2 leeches, I think it consumed 3, and then literally dropped me from 100% to 0 in 1 hit. So got a bit beefy. It was a bad idea. Anyway, here's Martyn to continue. He's now in his blue mage gear. Can't imagine we can convince him without a fight, so I thought it only right I dressed for the occasion. Best foot forward and all that. Now, where is this Octobeard fellow? Cutscene. We're looking around, or he is. I be Miss Beard's right-hand man. I reckon that I am. Fuddling me cap before, sneaking out the pub's back door, and nobody'll ever know. Somebody sings. A Rogadin has a great axe at his back, a blue sublugar that just shows almost his entire legs, blue hand gear gauntlets, a red mask that completely covers his face like an executioner's mask. That's him, if we're to believe those sour notes of his. Let's be about it, eh? I have a suspicious look on my face. Huh? It's you? Oh, okay, it's not an executioner's mask. It's actually like, it's kind of like the mask. The mask has a face to it, but it's still like a red, complete covering of the entire head. But it has like a face on it, in red. You know, just using, like a cartography kind of. Like, anyway. Oi, Octobeard, I'd like to have a word. If that's all right, that is, says Martyn, pointing at him. I don't care for your tone, you preening little shite. I think I noticed. Wait, is this the guy who was the warrior dude? Who, as part of the warrior, or at least the marauder quest, was like, this is the guy. Or it could have been storyline actually. But like, this is the guy who felled. I think it was storyline, yeah, because he pretended to be like a warrior of light. I think, maybe. We'll see. I don't know yet. If it be a battle you're aching for, then I guess I'd better give it to you. Outside by the Rogue River. 5 minutes. I remember him wearing clothing that was not a lot of it. And he wore like a farmer's hat. Or a fisherman's hat. Let's see. Let's just teleport. I don't care. Over to Middle Lenosha. Pegasus. Also, I finally bought a Thabnarian onion for like 88,000. I did not really know for a long time that the maximum rank had increased to 20. I thought it was 15. I don't know if it was always 20, but whatever. It could have been increased with Endwalker or Dawn Trail, or whatever. But I am more than 3/4 of the way, maybe even 80% of the way to rank 16. And I'll figure out what I want to spend that on at that point. But that's all from just going 72 to 80 as Blue Mage. I didn't see him leave as such, but he is coming, isn't he? I wouldn't mind looking for another candidate, of course, but... Cutscene. We see him coming up. I crossed my arms, still suspicious. There you are. I was hoping you wouldn't... that you would show up. Takes out his axe. Gets in his battle stance. Aye, here I am, but there ain't no shame in turning tail, lad. Really, I wouldn't hold it against you for leaving right now. Martyn also looks kind of nervous. I'm just looking back and forth between them like, oh, this is lame. Have at you, says Martyn. The axe dude rushes forward. Martyn shoots lasers from his eyes, blocked by the axe. Another bolt blocked. Like needles blocked. Take this, says Martyn. It's like this multi-hit spiked ball thing. And then I think that's like the sludge bomb or whatever it's called. And then the broom thing I don't have. And that Missile, which I talked about a lot. Eruption, fire underneath them. Quasar, I think that was. And Martyn's like tired. Had enough, you barnacle-brained oaf. Is he still up? No, he's... Looks like he's down after the smoke clears. And he is. Face down, butt up. Like Manderville kind of style. Ye gods, did I overdo it? Martyn looks panicked, rushes to him, Manderville style. Runs around him like Manderville style. Cutscene fades to black. Well, he's still breathing. That's something, I suppose. Now let's see who's under that mask. It is the guy I thought it was. The fake Warrior of Light. My options are, just as I suspected, track Toem, or I know you. You're the one that claimed to have slain Titan. Oh yeah, Titus. He kept calling him Titus. I know you. You're the one that claimed to have slain Titan. His eyes open slowly. Now he's panicked, looking at me and Martyn. Manderville style as well. Closes his eyes again. Jolts up. Mercy, mercy! All I wanted was a pint of ale, or 3, and I'd heard the tavern keeps on good terms with Mistbeard's crew. I told him I was his right-hand man. Then one thing led to another. He's on his knees, bowing and bowing and bowing. But you know the truth about me, member, about everything. So please, I beg of you, just let me go. He has his fisherman's hat and his axe at his back again. He speeds away. I swear I can change. You'll see. Manderville style, speed running. So he was an imposter all along. Pity. Even if he really was the hand of Mistbeard, anyone who'd fall to me is certainly no match for you. We'll just have to keep searching. I don't know about you, but I think it's time we set our sights elsewhere. Could I trouble you to go and report back to Piande and Ulda? Sure. I love Piande. I'll be sure to send word when I found new prospects. And he starts walking back to Limsa. Walk into Limsa. Oh, that's not... God damn it. Ulda is another favored destination, so with the teleportation reduction, free company thingy, it's 163. Welcome to Jamrock. I think the Weaver's Guild is only slightly closer. Sorry, the Ethernet shard for the Weaver's Guild. Because you don't have to go around the corner. Welcome back, Mercy. Any luck in Limsa Limsa? I explain what happened. Oh, that's quite unfortunate. Even so, Royce must be informed. But you let me worry about that. Before you go, though, it wouldn't do to send you off without any guidance in your Blue Mage training. As I recall, Martyn said that Shiltron would go a long way in bolstering your repertoire of spells. Come and see me once you've mastered it. 55,080 experience points, 1298 gil. I actually learned Shiltron simply by, like, they were those, I call them like Ankylosaurus, but they're like an armadillo with a tail like an Ankylosaurus. They were a target that I wanted for, like, they were just what I leveled on in Amarang, I think it was. And I learned it kind of accidentally. I didn't even know it was a spell that I could learn because I hadn't really looked at the list recently. But it is kind of like Ice Spikes and kind of like Veil of the Whirl, but it's 15 seconds of every time you're hit with physical damage, they take 50 potency counter, which is, it's increased to 100 potency if you're tank, but it cannot be stacked with Ice Spikes or Veil of the Whirl. I have yet to play in tank mode. I am looking forward to eventually trying, and I think a lot of the spells that I want to get eventually, I'm gonna have to join blue mage groups for. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.